Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestle Debate and to another edition of Smackdown Out of 10. And yeah, of course it's the go home show before WrestleMania Backlash, so lots to get done on this show. And yeah, it's a pretty stacked show. Yeah, like I said, lots going on. Final builds, Raw Superstars making an appearance, and building up to other major matches like Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair, which kicks off the show with Charlotte, who wanted to redeem herself after failing to beat Aaliyah last week. The rematch was set to start, but Flair suckered Aaliyah in and hit a clothesline and a big boot before the bell. The Queen was beating up her opponent before the match even began, and Rousey showed up at ringside. Flair left Aaliyah and started brawling with Rousey before a group of officials came out and separated the two. Rousey fought her way through the officials before Flair retreated back on SmackDown. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of the sort of thing we've been used to for the last few weeks. Shame for Aaliyah because she's can't get the Drew Gulak treatment from the last few weeks. But you know, it is what it is for the start. But anyway, Banks v Baszler was up next. Banks started off strong and got a Meteorio in before going after Baszler's hands. Baszler took a big slam before Banks locked in a submission hold. Natalya then tried to interfere and let Baszler get a tilt-to-whirl suplex on Banks. Banks then sent Baszler outside and hit another Meteorio, followed by a rolling bulldog. Natalya was taken out with head scissors from Banks before the boss caught a big knee at the face in the ring. Baszler tried for the pin, but it was reversed before Natalya ran in the distraction, allowing Baszler to finally get the pin on Banks. After the match, Baszler and Natalya attacked the champs, but Banks and Naomi turned it around and the heels retreated. I mean, yeah, it gets a 6 out of 10 for me. It was fine, but you know, I just kind of felt with the quality of these two, it could have been so much better. Happy Corbin was then out for Happy Talk, and Madcap Moss showed up on the title and trying to interrupt him. Moss made some jokes at Corbin's expense, who said the former was afraid of saying it to his face. Moss then walked out to the ring and set us inside before making more jokes about Corbin's career and calling him the Big Bad Wolf. Corbin walked out the ring and retreated as Moss celebrated in the ring. And SmackDown moved on, and yeah, nothing really too groundbreaking in this, just kind of the usual stuff we've been used to, Corbin and Moss in this feud they've had since WrestleMania, but you know, it still works. Monaco Moss is still over. But next up was Drew Gulak versus Gunther. Gulak took a chop after chop early on before being tossed into the corner. Gulak was then set up on the corner and he took more chops on a submission move. Gunther then knocked in a sleeper hold and hit the powerbomb for an easy victory. And yeah, really enjoying the best with Gunther, that's great stuff. But you know, Drew Gulak, what happens to him being like the different stuff every week? Is he back to being a wrestler now? Yeah, this all seemed really strange. But you know, for Gunther, they still haven't ruined him yet, and that's a good thing for me. 6 out of 10. But anyway, then backstage, Shinsuke Nakamura was backstage and said that he had not forgotten about Bloodline's attacking him and vowed to get revenge on Roman Reigns. So, fucking finally, I thought they forgot about that. Before we got New Day versus Fight Night in a tables match on SmackDown. Sheamus was sent out of the ring early on before Ridge took some big moves on the outside, where the New Day hit Sheamus with a table before setting it up in the ring. Xavier and Kofi nearly put Holland through the table before Sheamus moved the table before the New Day hit their move. Back outside the ring, Holland was sent into steel steps and Kingston side steps, and the Celtic Warrior was sent through the barricades with a big dive. Back after the break, Kingston got the SOS and took the charge from Sheamus before being put through the table. Woods then set up another table in the ring before setting Holland up for a splash though, but Sheamus stopped the move. Kingston then took Sheamus out with a trustful. Sheamus took some big moves from Kingston at ringside before being set up on the announce desk. Butch then returned and came out from under the ring, attacking the New Day, letting Sheamus get a brogue kick on Woods. The trio then dragged Woods back inside the ring and put him through the table to win the match. And yeah, gets 7 out of 10 from me. Really fun match. Hopefully that's kind of the end of the programme now, because I think we've seen all that we need to see from that programme really. But you know, still good. 7 out of 10. Good to see Butch back. And yeah, I'm kind of intrigued to see where Fight Club go from here. Paul Heyman was then backstage and ignored threats from Nakamura before Sami Zayn came up to remind him. Zayn said he will personally take care of Nakamura and wanted Roman know he was doing it for the tribal chief. We then got another episode of Lacey Evans' backstory, but this time she actually walked out. Good to see Lacey Evans back. But yeah, moving on to Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke. Zayn started off strong and locked in Herd early on before Nakamura reversed it. Nakamura went for an early Kinshasa, but Zayn countered with a Michinoku driver as he headed to a break. But back to the match, Nakamura was in control and hit a knee strike to the back of Zayn's neck before hitting near fall. Nakamura then tried for an armbar, but Zayn reversed it into a pin. Nakamura took Zayn down and tried for the finish, but the latter ran out of the ring. The Japanese star came in with a big kick and took him down at the ringside, taking the Helluva kick. Nakamura was down and Zayn rushed to beat the count, picking up the win by a count out. And yeah, this gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I mean, like, it's decent. It's kind of got the storyline with the Bloodline in it, and I'm kind of relatively intrigued to see where that goes. But yeah, for the match itself, it was okay. 6 out of 10 with some interesting storyline element too. RK Bro and Drew McIntyre are out in the ring and they acknowledged each other's talents before declining to move past their earlier rivalries to focus on Sunday's match against Reigns and the Usos. The Bloodline walked out and faced off with them in the ring inevitably before a brawl break out. Riddle and Orton were sent outside and the Usos took them down before McIntyre and came in and unloaded on them, but Reigns came back. RK Bro then came back and took out the Usos before, with Drew McIntyre, they hit Claymore and Roman to close the show. And yeah, good to see the babyfaces going over. It kind of does leave me a bit nervous that they'll lose when they should win if there's no belts on the line. But this is intriguing for what it was. I'm still not sure on the decision, but it is what it is. I guess we'll just have to see where it goes. But a good way to close out SmackDown for a pay-per-view. And overall this week, SmackDown gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I thought it was a decent episode of SmackDown this week. It's kind of one of those shows where it's just a final bill for the pay-per-view, more story storylines and everything like that. For what it was, I thought it was decent. Lots going on. Enjoyed the show, and relatively intrigued to see what Backlash is going to produce. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, notes, lots of comments down below. Follow us for subscribe for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel on Instagram, and I'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.